Okay, I just got off work. Got about, in Indiana at 4 o'clock, you got about 5-6 hours of sunlight, believe it or not. Daylight saving time, and you gotta love it. So the sun's not normally down before I go to bed. But long story short, it's a nice day. Hopefully it's not too windy for the audio. I'm kind of doing this narration as I do the video. I'm heading out to the vineyard, you know, see what she looks like. I've already done a couple rows. I was like, yeah, bring up the camera and bring the audience along for the ride. I've already did the first 2 rows of grapes here. And if you remember, if you saw the pruning video, I'll put it at the top here, what this looked like when there was no leaves. But obviously it looks totally different now. I've already done the first 2 rows. What I'm doing is just clearing out some of the foliage that I don't need for these plants, mainly down at the trunks. So I did this row. It looks really, really nicely clean from down below. I did this row here, and I'm going to bring you along and show you a couple of rows. I'm not going to go nuts on this for the fact that it can get boring pretty quick, and I got what, 150 of these to do. It takes about I don't know, 5 minutes a row, 10 minutes a row maybe. So it's not bad. And these ones are really, really aggressive. This is the Noiret. I've spoke about those grapes before. They're really robust. They're growing like crazy. A lot of flowering. You can see here all the different flowering on the that's actually going to be a future grape right there, but it's already flowered. They're already starting to form baby grapes. Lots of grapes this year, it looks like. Pretty much disease free right now. I've sprayed for fungus a couple times already. A lot of truck there. No bug problems yet. Those don't happen till June. There's our friends, the Purple Martins, are flying around having a good time, it looks like. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this camera down. I'm going to go over a couple of these branches for you, kind of go over why I'm doing certain things throughout the vineyard. Be somewhat of a short video, I think, but I just want to know that I'm working out here in the vineyard and making sure I have a good yield this September. Looking forward to a big harvest party this year, since I know the projection date when these will be ripe, which is mid-September, late September. It's been a great growing year, maybe even earlier than that. So anyways, I'll bring you along for the ride and kind of explain what I'm doing each one of these. Okay, so let's talk about this guy right here. Like I said, it's Noiret. These last 5 rows are actually Noiret. And I'm taking a look at it. Looks like I was trying to do something from below. I got 1 trunk right here. I really want to have 2, and I want 2 coming from the bottom. Obviously, this one broke off. I might be able to save it. I've got some activity down here at the base, right down here, so I'm definitely going to keep that in play. But this is obviously broken. I'm going to snip it off. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring another lead up from the ground here. I want 2 trunks coming from the ground. That way, if the frost gets this, or if it freezes and breaks one of the trunks, the other trunk's still alive, and then I can bring another one up. So having 2 coming from the ground is always better than having 1 from the ground. Some of them have 2 from the ground. Some have a split up here, which isn't as good, but a split's better than nothing. So obviously I got this guy. I'm gonna train him to come up. I'm gonna have him as a backup. Actually, I got one down here, way down at the base here in the dirt. I may see if I can make him work and eliminate this guy right here. So I'm gonna let him grow for a little bit. I got another guy right here, but because I got a couple good prospects down below, I'm gonna snip him back. I'm gonna leave a bud on there. That way next year, if that doesn't work down there, that I can come back to the next one right here. I've got another one up in here in the crown area I want to get rid of. You want to keep the crown, which is this area right up in here, the pocket where it splits, pretty clear. You want air flowing through. I've got a bullet in here. You need to have all that foliage and that. Now I take all the scraps, I throw them in the middle, and then I'll chop them up with the mower later on. Let's move on to this next guy. He's a little bit more clustered at the bottom. You can see at the very bottom, see what I got going on here. So I got 2 trunks coming up all the way down from the ground on this one. This guy, for the most part, way down here at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off. Take this off. I don't need all these additional branches. I want everything to be focused on the top of the grapevine. So I'm cutting off, because I have 2 good trunks coming from the bottom. I'm cutting off all this extra stuff because, I mean, yeah, there's some grapes right there, but if the grapes down here will be nice and plump, but the grapes up here won't be. So I have to eliminate the competition, if you want to call it that. Remember from my pruning video, I had 6 to 8 buds on each arm, and if I don't prune this stuff off, those 6 to 8 buds will never get ripe, and those are the ones I'm focusing on. So you can see, just like that, I cleared that one off pretty good. It looks pretty good. It's tied pretty good. Should be a good provider. Moving on to this guy. Well, let's see what we got. We got 2 trunks coming from the bottom. Let's get you back a little bit. I got 2 trunks coming from the bottom here, which is good. Ideally, I want both these trunks coming from here, but this works for now. There's nothing else coming right now. Now, in the future, if something comes from down there, I may attack it, but and use it. But for now, I'm just gonna clear these 2 trunks and let them focus on the top. See what we got going on. Yeah, he's sneaking up here. So let's get rid of that. Get rid of this. This guy's a cross member. Let's get rid of him. Don't need all this. We need to focus on the top of the vine. Let's see. You gotta make sure you know what you're doing here. You don't want to take anything, like one of the arms. You don't have to, obviously, you don't want to. But you can see, just like that, even this guy, it's got grapes on it, but it's no good right there. Same with this guy. Get rid of it. Now this plant can focus. This one's pushing it, but I'm gonna let go. Now the plant can focus on the top canopy and not necessarily the bottom. The bottom's where you're gonna get a lot of disease too. Let's cover this guy, and then I'll take you to another part of the vineyard and we'll cover those. This guy's pretty easy. Actually, he's got nothing. He's got 1 trunk coming up. And it looks like he has a split right there. So let me get rid of some of the stuff on the top. I can show you the split. It's kind of the backup plan, you know? I mean, you gotta have different ways of attacking this thing. So I've got one coming from, a couple coming from the bottom. I got a bunch of them coming from the bottom. I still got the stake in there too. But I'm looking for the most healthiest one. This one's got grapes on it. He looks healthy. I'm gonna focus on him. I'm gonna take off the bottom leaves because that's where the disease comes from. I'm gonna cut off the other ones down here at the bottom. I'm gonna focus on this guy. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tie him. I gotta get my tire. I'm gonna tie him to the stake and bring him along for the ride. I got this guy up here about halfway up the vine. It's not a bad prospect, but this is the guy I want. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trim this, but I'm gonna leave 1 bud here. That way next year, if this doesn't work, I got him still coming up. Kind of a backup plan. Let me clear out this little crown area here. It's a little busy. Just like that. Now he's nice and clean. Got the martins up there looking at me. All right, so here we go. We're gonna tie this guy right to the stake. Just like that. We won't let him climb. Hopefully he'll grab one with the tendrils and go about his business. So let me get to the other part of the vineyard and I'll show you what we got going on there. Once again, the martins are messing with me. I love those guys. But I'll get you, when we go back to the Catawba, I'll get you back on camera here. Okay, here we are at Catawba. I'm gonna attack, let's do, row H looks pretty aggressive. Let's go after row 8. All right, here we go. Let me scoot you back a little bit, give you a good view of this guy. Now these are in their 4th year, a little bit more behaved. Not nearly as aggressive, we got big trunks. Now this guy right here, right off the bat, only has 1. I've got an arm coming this way, which isn't that great. But I've got a couple prospects. I got this guy right here, and you can see the grapes already on these Catawbas. They get really big. They're got rid of the flowers and they're ready to go. But unfortunately, this one ain't gonna make the show. Now this guy is gonna make the show. He's coming from down below. I'll take him. He's not perfect, but it'll work for now. I'm gonna get rid of, I'll show you in the next one, but there's some leaves to pick and some not to. And you kind of get used to after a while. Just like that. See, he's coming up like that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tie him. And we'll tie him to the stake. He's gonna need to grow. I'll get him in the spring. This guy's kind of worthless, taking energy away from the rest of the plant. And that guy's good to go. Let's move on to the next one. All right, this guy's a cluster right here. It looks like that line needs to be tightened too. Sag a little bit. But let's look at this guy. Got a lot coming down from below. Now I got 2 trunks coming up, 2 big ones. So I got a lot of fluff up here. So I gotta get rid of it. Because like I said, I mean, it's taking away energy from the top of the plant, which is what I'm focusing on. So just like that, prune off all this stuff, clean them up real good. And you don't have to be too easy with these guys. We'll leave that guy. This guy's, we'll leave a nub there just in case. Get rid of this thing. Damn, he's big. Oh yeah, we'll leave that guy for now. Just like that, you can see I got 2 good-sized vines coming up. I want to show you one here. Let me, boy, I feel sorry for this guy right here. He's only 1 trunk. I don't have any prospects either. So, gonna have to work on him. I've got a prospect here. I wish he was on that plant. Let's see if I can find one that has 1 trunk that I need to bring up. Okay, so here's one. So ideally with this guy, should have brought my hat. Bugs are nasty. So this guy's got 1 big trunk and nothing else. I'm actually branching way up here at the top. Get rid of some of these leaves so you can see it, just like this. See, I got the branch here. I really want that to be way down here. It ain't happening this year. But I have this guy right here. So what I'm gonna focus on is this. I've got a series of leaves. I got grapes and everything else. This guy's a keeper leaf, so is this guy. Everything else is trash. The leaf that grows in the middle between the trunk and the leaf is actually gonna possibly provide fruit or kind of a sucker. You really don't want it. It's gonna start its own lead. So I want 1 lead. This guy right here, I want to be my lead. So I have to get rid of all the competition. So I simply just take those off. I can pinch them off, pull them off, whatever it takes. But if I don't, it's gonna slow down the growth of the lead. And the lead is what I'm looking for. And even if you screw up and take the wrong one, it's not a big deal. Just like that. So now he's ready to tie. I'm just gonna tie him right to the bamboo. Just like that. And he'll be my best friend next year. Okay, here we go. We're at the Chardonel, which is a type of Chardonnay, to be honest with you. It's just cold hardy, so it can survive in Indiana. Tastes like Chardonnel or Chardonnay, but Chardonnay is grown in California and warmer climates like Brazil and stuff like that, Argentina. And to make it grow here, we have to have a different type of grape. So Chardonnel is the name, and these are actually fairly easy to prune. They're not as aggressive. It's been a while. These are 4 years old, but you know, I had a couple bad years with these, but they look really good this year. I'm really happy with them. See if we can keep them that way to the end. Real quick, you can see how I sprayed these. You can still see a little bit of the residue from the spray. Basically, it's a, I can't remember the name, I'll put it in the description, but essentially it's a fungicide, so it prevents fungus on my plants. The bugs will be a July 1st type thing, so I'll start spraying for Japanese beetles are nasty, and they love these things, so I gotta stay up on it. But let's go over this guy real quick. Pretty easy plant here. Nothing too crazy. He's got 2 good trunks right here going all the way up. Yeah, they're coming from the ground, so I really don't need them, but I am gonna leave 1 down there just in case. Yeah, I'll get all that stuff away from the face here. Good looking plant. I'll trim this stuff off, even those grapes. I don't want my grapes to be focused there. Canopy looks pretty good. I'll take some leaves off just to give it some air. And that's pretty much it with that one. It's pretty simple. Easy plant, tied good. Ugh. Now this thing looks like a bush. I don't know what's going on with this thing. But obviously I got an issue. I got 1 trunk. Oh, you got the best. There you go. Nice sliding. Got 1 big trunk. I got an arm break up here, it looks like. I got all kinds of stuff going on. I think I was probably, during the pruning process, I probably didn't know what to do with them. First thing we're gonna do is take that thing off. Let's take that off too. I got stuff coming from the bottom here, so let's see what we get here. All right. Oh, okay, I see what's going on. All right, try this thing to tie. So I got some action down here. I got one coming from, looks like another whole trunk area, an older trunk area from a couple years ago. Let me clear out some of this so you can see it. All right, it's still kind of a cluster, but let me pick out one. And this one's kind of challenging here. I got a bunch of leaves. This is what happens when you don't pick the leaves in between the leaves off. So what I'm doing is trying to find the best lead for this plant. There's so many of them here. I want to leave enough foliage so the sun can get to them. So here we go. Yeah. There we go. Like that. Now he's got grapes growing on them. Those things will never ripen. It's not big enough. I don't have a lead. I got one right there. we'll just put this up here like that. We'll tie it like that, and that'll be the new coming to the bottom. Let me get the tire. This plant right here is kind of special to me, so I gotta make sure this one does well. No, actually, I think it was that one. But anyways, let me tie this guy to the bamboo. All right, that's how you fix them. Let's go over one more, see if we can find the oddball. Now, this guy's really long right here. All his grapes are way back here. This is all extra, taken away from the rest of the plant, so we'll trim that off. Oh, let's go over one more. Any more challenging ones around here? Yeah, these Catawbas are under control. Okay, here's one right here. Let's take a peek at this guy. Row C. All right, pretty busy here. All right, so I've got, let me get you a better angle here. So I've got 2 coming from the ground. I'm in good shape, but I have another one coming not from the ground, but from this other plant. So he's history. This guy is 2. I want to focus on the top of the plant. This guy's worthless, get rid of him. Still worthless down here. Taking away from the rest. This thing's definitely worthless here. Get rid of that. And see, like this stuff all just gets first crack at the nutrition. Here's a dead one from last year. Gone. Not gonna come back. Here, get rid of that. Let's leave a extra little spur there. Clear this stuff out. Pretty much it. Pretty clean. All right. Let me get to work, and I got my work cut out for me. Okay, let's talk about these guys. Obviously, they're a little outgrown to these containers. I can't take it over the top more than likely, so I got to cut it off. Not a big deal. I got a billion of these things. I've never used as many as I got. So what I want to do is I'm just going to slice that down like that. See what I get here. I got to get this guy under control. He's a mess. One trunk coming up. Oh man, looks like a bush on a stick. I'm real heavy up top here, so I'm about to do some major pruning on here. See what the heck I got going on. It's really heavy. All right, so let's it's hard here. Start from the bottom, see what we get. All right, I see it. All right, so we're gonna take this bad boy right here off. Should get rid of the bottom of it, maybe. Don't need it. Gotta do what's good for the plant here. It's not good for the plant to be living like that. I got a hole down there where that bamboo's been blown all over the place. We'll fix it here in a second. But trying to find a couple winners here. I think I've got one right here. Oh, it's over here. All right. So all I'm trying to do is get these guys at the top wire and let them grow out this year. Not looking for production at all. This guy's a little short, but he'll be all right. He's got good growth. Got some grapes on it. We're gonna get rid of those. Don't need those. I hate to cut the grapes off, but it's really good for the plant. So, for the good of the plant, if I want it to survive long term. So let's do this first. Okay, there's that. Let's get this guy tied to the top. This guy's not quite there yet. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and tie him to the bamboo just so he doesn't blow around in a windstorm. Red tape turns white after a while, so it's kind of cool. You can see right here where it's white. I'm gonna let that guy come up from the bottom. Hopefully that, I need to spray some weed killer in here to get rid of all these weeds. That's pretty much it. Well, everything's pruned up for now, and the vineyard's in good shape. Looking forward to this fall. You know, if you don't know already, I make wine. I make jam and jelly from the grapes that I harvest from the vineyard. So it is a hobby. It's fun. Still learning every day. It's only year 4, so I have a lot more to learn. If you got any questions or comments, make sure you leave them down below. Other than that, we'll leave it for another day. That's a wrap. If you like these types of videos, give it a like. Make sure you subscribe. Please share with family and friends. And like I always say, I appreciate you spending time with the HomePro Hero.